Okay, continuing the Doom versus the DC Universe, Justice League Edition. I will be doing some other heroes and other characters. This is the second to last fight that I'll be doing with Doom versus Justice League proper. I'm not picking Aquaman. When I was doing the write-up between Wonder Woman and Aquaman, there's enough similarities in the way that they code out that the two fights end up being similar enough in nature that I didn't feel like doing both of them individually. This is Wonder Woman versus Doom. I normally use the pre-52 because 52, she wasn't in that many comics, so it's very easy to find less inconsistencies, but also less really impressive feats. And Doom is standard Doom. So this, of course, is pre-Secret Ultimate Infinite War, where they combine the Ultimate Universe and everything else and kind of squeeze it all together. Had Doom control everything, but still look like the Crypt Keeper, and then eventually set everything straight. Now, I do this through a 9 criteria system. If it's 5 to 4, which most of it end up being, the person with 5 more than likely would win. More than likely. If I'm doing a 5 to 4, that does not mean the person with 5 is going to absolutely, completely, and totally 100% curb stomp their opponent every single time. No. If once you get 6 to 3, 5 to 4, they're here. It's anybody's ball game, but the person with 5 has a greater likelihood of defeating their opponent. 6 to 3, 7 to 2, 8 to 1. I haven't done a 9 to 0. I've done a couple that were like 7 to 2s that I got railed over for making fights that seemed very pointless. But here we go. I have intelligence, findability, strength, speed, durability. This is how well you recover. And vulnerability, resistance to damage, energy projection, versatility, and X Factor. A few of these I will do more in depth. Other ones really don't need to as much. So beginning with intelligence. I give Wonder Woman very, very high props. She's spent a tremendous amount of time in the world of politics as a UN ambassador for Themyscira. A tremendous amount of training when it comes to philosophy, a little bit in the way of psychology, and a lot of the way of military tactics. But she's taking on somebody who is leader of her country, absolute genius when it comes to science, and some people have put him slightly above Doctor Strange when it comes to overall knowledge of the world of science, of the world of sorcery and mysticism. So Doom takes it for that way. Fighting ability. I don't think I really need to go into detail of Doom. There's a lot of great hand-to-hand combat. She trains a lot of really good individuals. Amazonian training, and is pretty much one of the greatest Amazon warriors. Strength. This one, Doom's normal suit puts him about 2 ton, occasionally he's at 100. But he's not consistently shown to be at that high of a level. And Wonder Woman's normally put really close to Superman when it comes to strength. Definitely give a strength edge to Wonder Woman. Speed. Yeah, I've got debatable light, faster than light in Wonder Woman. And Doom, great reflexes because of all the technology he has, but he's not really hitting those sorts of levels of speed. I am aware that he has taken on Surfer. He has taken on individuals who do have that level of speed, not as consistent as Wonder Woman. Durability. This is your overall stamina. Doom's suit, yes, he can survive in space and survive underwater. Does a great job when it comes to giving him nutrients as well as waste removal. But I don't think he's got anywhere near the stamina as Wonder Woman. You probably think this is not looking good for Doom. Now we get into vulnerability. Resistance to damage. Wonder Woman, great when it comes to bludgeoning. Great when it comes to concussive forces. Not that great when it comes to sharp objects. Slashing, piercing, not as good. She also ironically has a pretty decent amount of vulnerability to electricity. I know it's a later add-on to her abilities, but she does have a vulnerability to electricity. So, a high amount of invulnerability to very specific things. Doom's suit has pretty much been put on the level of Iron Man, but he does have a force field that has withstood the blows from people like Thing, Even he's knocked Hulk out with it because Hulk ran it at a full speed and it had enough because it absorbs kinetic energy. It had enough to take what Hulk threw at it and redirect it enough to knock Hulk unconscious. It's also taking shots from people like the Beyonder and Galactus. So in vulnerability, I kind of have to give it to Doom because he's got the armor as well as a really, really fantastic force field. Energy projection. This is how well are they at range. I picked these two with pretty much here is their standard gear. Here is what they walk into your average fight with. So Wonder Woman's got the lasso. So now once you get a little more range, well now you've got someone who's got a technology edge. He's got blasters built into his gauntlets. He's a tremendous amount of just raw energy output. So once this fight gets farther away, it's a fight for Doom. Versatility. How many different skills do they have? Again, this kind of goes back to Doom having control over a tremendous amount of technology, really great technical background, as well as sorcery. The fact that he can summon an army of mindless ones. He can also throw his mind into someone else's body. So you know what? Doom brings a lot to the table. Go hit his comic Vine, and you'll see this list of abilities, where it's like telekinesis, telepathy, it's everything. He has got a tremendously huge list of accomplishments. So we're tied up going into X Factor. This is that, what is the last thing that's not quite fully covered, fully comprehended in some of the other components? It's been hinted at other ones. Given Doom's level of knowledge, he might be able to ascertain pretty quickly that what he's fighting is an Amazon. They're known throughout mythology, so he's got a pretty good chance of being able to understand who and what he's up against. Not specifically, but enough to be like, oh, okay, female warrior, fighting like this, probably Amazon. He's going to have a little level of additional information. One are probably thinking, okay, I'm fighting a guy in a suit who talks in third person. Okay, he makes me think this guy's probably kind of like a Lex Luthor style, when Doom has far surpassed some of a Lex Luthor ability. It's also going to help too is one of Doom's default defensive strategies is electricity. So one of them is going to put a hurting on him. Doom is probably going to get off a couple of shots at range. Probably not many, because one of them is going to be on top of him quickly. He's going to go for a defensive strategy. He's going to know that his force field is going to hold up, because one of them is just kinetic energy. And when your force field is powered by kinetic energy, it's going to be a self-sustaining field. If he goes into a speed blitz mode, he's able to get past that. The defensive measures in his suit, which is electricity, is going to happen. It's going to be like an and the moment she takes that shot, and she'll be like an arc lightning. So it's going to be enough that it's going to stun her, it's going to hurt her. That's when he's going to be like, oh, I know her weakness. And that's how he's going to defeat her. He is going to take a beating. When this is all said and done, Doom will have a tremendous amount of respect for Wonder Woman. Because she will take him to the brink. But it's the fact that he's going to formulate somewhat of a plan initially by looking at her. Because he's going to already be like, oh, I have fought Valkyrie before. I kind of have an idea of female warriors, the mythology behind them. He's going to kind of know what he's dealing with. Very quickly. Wonder Woman, not as much. Doom, there really isn't a direct Doom comparison when it comes to the DC universe. There are people who are like Doom from a sorcerer standpoint, like Doom from a technological standpoint, not someone who balances the line between the two of them. So I do picture Doom getting the victory more often than not. A lot of it's going to come down to it's going to be a stalemate. He's going to start to lose. But that weakness to electricity is what's really going to give Doom the clincher. And the fact that it's one of his default defensive mechanisms is what's going to happen. What's going to help him defeat Wonder Woman.